I have a rare blood disorder. It's called beta thalassemia. And so my body doesn't make red cells properly. They're not round like the normal red cell. They're a little misshapen. And so they can't carry oxygen throughout my body like a normal person's would. Yeah, it was a really interesting journey just because there wasn't a lot of information back then. So when I was very small, I was jaundiced and my parents were worried about it, and so they ran a lot of tests, but they did find my blood was very unique. So we sent my blood to universities to have it tested, and then we finally got the answer that it was beta thalassemia. Beta thalassemia is very rare in the United States. There's only about, I would say, a little more than 2,000 patients in the US with beta thalassemia. I need blood transfusions on a monthly basis. So every time I go in, I get 2 units of blood of red cells, and it helps me function and live my life normally like any person would. And so I'm so incredibly grateful for these donors who come into our centers and give so selflessly of themselves. It's a volunteer thing to do. They're not getting paid, and they're giving of themselves. They're giving the gift of life just to do something good for someone and help someone in need. And I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for these donors. So I am so grateful and in awe of these people that come in and save lives with us every day.
Denver City Council proclaimed January Blood Donor Month. District 5 Councilwoman Amanda Sawyer, along with the entire City Council, wants to encourage Denver residents to donate the life-saving gift of blood in January and throughout the year.
I gave blood today at Children's Hospital.
We need partners like that to remind the community that there are patients depending on blood donations every single day throughout our state. So we're so honored that they had proclaimed National Blood Donor Month as January. And so that is so amazing because it's going to bring more donors in during the month of January to give blood. So National Blood Donor Month, that started because the holidays are a time where we see a decrease in donations. So January is a time to really get those donors back in the door and help boost that supply that we lost during the holiday season. We are still seeing the impact of COVID-19 with blood donations. We have had to cancel last year alone more than 500 blood drives because of COVID-19, and that meant thousands of units that we couldn't collect. But patients need blood all year round, not just during the holidays or not just during extreme emergency situations. So we need to make sure that we have a supply ready to go on our shelves at all times to make sure patients need it when it's needed.
Vitalant is the nation's largest independent blood services provider. The company serves hospitals all across the United States with blood platelet and plasma products to help patients in need.
A lot of people, when they say blood donation, think of whole blood donation. That's where you go, you give blood, about a pint in a bag, and then it's sent to the hospital. Well, we also here at Vitalant collect platelets, and platelets go to patients like chemotherapy patients. Platelets also help organ transplant recipients, and they help in the clotting process to stop bleeding. And then we also collect plasma here at Vitalant, and plasma is the liquid portion of the blood that helps patients such as burn victims and trauma patients. So there's so many different types of blood donation that we do, and they help so many different types of patients for different reasons. So one thing that we saw that was really cool come out of the pandemic here at Vitalant was convalescent plasma donations. So what happened, we found, was that people who had recovered fully from COVID-19, they were able to donate their plasma because it had antibodies. And a lot of those donations went to COVID-19 patients that were in the hospital fighting for their lives. What's interesting to me is the majority of the population is eligible to donate, but only 3% actually do. And that is crazy to me. So if you are interested or think you might want to give it a try, go to vitalant.org. That's our website. It has all of the eligibility requirements on there. You can make sure you're able to donate. Medical questions people might have about if they're able, those are listed, as well as numbers to call if you still have questions. But give it a try, make an appointment. You can do that at thytalent.org, or you can just walk into a center and try to give blood.
For more stories, check out Denver's YouTube page or tune in to denver8.tv.